How many have parents? As growing up and everything, you're gonna go to school. You're gonna go to college. You're gonna be a doctor. You're gonna be an engineer. You're going to be this, this, or this. And I felt pressured into it. Been there, done that. See, growing up, it was easy to see that what I was supposed to want is what my parents wanted. Trade school wasn't offered as an option because I had no idea about it, but I had to go to college. I flunked out. It wasn't for me. And that caused a lot of self doubt from such. And as a parent now, it took a lot of research. It took a lot of looking into things. And it did take what little schooling I did have in psychology to realize that when we project our own dreams, our own wants onto our kids, that can actually be detrimental to them. The parents that sit there and say, my son's going to be a football champion. I was the quarterback. He's going to follow my footsteps. Or the ones that say, well, I was an absolutely wonderful dancer, and my daughter is going to go into dance and she's going to do wonderfully. I'm getting her the best training and the best coaches, and she's going to be perfect. The only ones that are going to be mad about it are the ones that don't want to fess up to it. That's where it becomes not parent and child team working together to build that child's dream. It becomes the parent and their dreams versus the child and their actual dreams. So, how do we realize what our child actually wants and what they're only going along with because we say so much that pushes them to it? Whether they feel they have to because we constantly talk about our own accomplishments in that sport, in that field. It could be the same thing with a doctor. Their child sees their parent is a doctor, sees that they went through medical school. They're such a good doctor. They did so well in this. And gives the it gives the idea in their mind that that's what they are supposed to be. It sets that impression, plants that seed into their mind. Okay, because my mom or dad did this way, and they're really good at it, or this is where they succeeded, that's what I'm supposed to do. Children are like sponges up until roughly 11 years of age in the studies I've found. 13 is what others have argued too. So we can go ahead and round it up to 13, especially because from what I've seen in the world, not in studies, but in actual life, kids are very impressionable, especially up to and through their teenage years. Peer pressure is a major thing. One really begins to find out their joys, their personal wants, what they have a passion for, their dreams really begin to come to life and take formation throughout adolescent and teenage years. That's when a child may have played baseball their entire life and everything, just like their mom or dad. But then they sit there and it's like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I want to be an artist. They've always had a side passion for art, but they never focused on it. But then they realize that's what their passion is, that's what their heart is. But that's where the battle comes into play. Because there are the parents that are like, what? Like you draw on the side, you can't make a living that way or whatever. You can't get a good scholarship that way. No, you need to continue playing baseball. You need to continue on this. We've spent so much time and money and years on this. What are you thinking you're going to change now? Am I wrong to be under the impression that by that age they have a sort of autonomy and self knowing? It's easy to forget that in the place of a parent. Frustration easily takes over on things. But isn't it the hardest things in life that are the most worth working for? Your child needs to know their self-worth. They need to know that they have a choice, that they are able to choose to do things. You instill in them choice, you instill in them morals, you instill in them how to live life, and you can give advice up and down all the way. But choice is a God given thing. Because righteously, has anyone ever heard the good Lord come, voice over and everything saying, yo, you're not going to go doing that. Turn yourself around and makes you do it? No. But there's been many times I've sat there and started to do something in the back of my head. I hear what I call a God whisper saying, yo, my child, this ain't a good idea. I don't recommend it. Even you see what could be wrong with this. But I still made bad choices in life and I learned from them. So how wrong is it to allow my kids to do so? If your child has played soccer their whole life, they get into school and decide they want to be on the football team, let them. If they go through all their years of school playing basketball and then decide, I don't like this, but I love music, and they want to actually pursue that, let them. If they've gone through academically, wonderful mathematician, and you're thinking, oh, they're going to be a wonderful engineer, and that's always been the plan, but then they're like, you know what, I'd rather teach other kids. I want to be a teacher. Why not? In anything that our kids do, that is their choice. They know their passion better than we do. We can give advice. We can recommend things. We can even say, well, I enjoyed this. So if you want to try dance, if you want to try gymnastics, you can do that. You can try it. And if you don't like it, it's okay. If you're on a team, finish the season out. At least commit into this. And then after the season's done, if you want to try something else, we'll try something else. The biggest part of it all is a support system. Because just like with the college deal, I'm going to allow mine to know that they have a choice to go to college or a trade school. That's their choice. Because I don't want a kid thinking they have to go to college, thinking they have to get a degree, thinking they have to do all this. They flunk out and feel like a disappointment. Been there. And it has actually a remarkable amount of residual effects. And it really makes me step back and think, do I want my kid to have that same self doubt, self questioning, diminished self esteem because of the expectations that I force onto them, that I project onto them? That doesn't seem healthy. Point blank, it's not. It's not mentally or emotionally healthy. What is, though, is to allow advice, to lead them in the best that you can, but allow them to choose, allow them to recognize their passion, allow them to pursue it, and support your child in that pursuit. Because even though you are a rock star, you could play guitar and sing all day and write music, and you are so wonderful, they may not be able to carry a tune in a bucket. They may have no want for music or anything, but man, when they see a rocket, when they see the belts and the lines and the fans on a motor, it could get them so excited. We need to encourage our children to do what they love and not what we want.